Oh, Golden Films has done it again. They have made perhaps the worst adaptation of the King Arthur and Camelot tale ever.
We fight for what is right. We live for Camelot. Banish evil with our might.
This thing is just ridiculously hard to watch. I mean it. Golden Films bounces around sometimes from being just kinda stupid but still doofully enjoyable to absolutely rage-inducing garbage like The Handsome of Notre Dame, and their take on Camelot falls into the latter category, which coincidentally is the movie that this thing was paired up with on this 2-pack DVD, but this is just a movie that seems largely uninterested in the story it's telling. It's mostly a series of, okay, get to the next thing, okay, get to the next thing, okay, get to the next thing. There are a lot of stories in the King Arthur universe, which is usually why an adaptation will pick a certain one or two to focus on. But Golden Films' grand idea was to speedrun Arthur's life from the cradle to the grave. So, you're hit with major plot points constantly, and the characters often just shrug them off so they can abruptly move on to the next bit of poorly adapted nonsense. Dingo Pictures' Camelot is a better take on King Arthur. Yes! Dingo Pictures!
For this I was born, for this I was raised.
We naturally start with a sappy Golden Films song so that we can immediately blow through a lot of story. You know, the theme of this thing. Some fight is happening, which you just have to assume has killed Arthur's parents. Either that, or Merlin decided no one would notice him grabbing a baby or two while everyone's fighting over stupid castle inconvenience. Oh, come on, you stupid wizard. You don't even need magic to see a baby right in front of you. Now, Arthur usually was the son of a king, so why he's lying around on the floor of a random house, who knows? Arthur's father, King Uther, by the way, was transformed by Merlin to look like Igraine's first husband, Gorlois, so that he could trick her and create stupid Arthur in the first place. Classic Greek UK mythology. You stupid, disgusting wizard. Shut up, Merlin! Now, Merlin does usually take Arthur as a child to the safety of the countryside to grow up, but here he whisks him away all the way to the mythical island of Avalon. The place the Lady of the Lake and some other magical beings were from.
This is Avalon. This is where King Arthur lived when he was young, and where he is buried.
I mean, it might as well end there. We'd all be better off if it did. Gotta love them just immediately throwing your main character's dead at you right at the beginning, and while they're still a stupid baby, no less.
Vivian, I know you're watching me.
Oh, of course. Who could keep their eyes off you, Merlin, you sexy piece of ass?
I need your help, blast it. Here, you take it for a while.
Was Merlin still yelling at Vivian, or his apparently living cape, who never does anything again in this movie?
We will never know.
So, Morgan Le Fay doesn't show up in this version, despite her usually being the leader of Avalon. Instead, it's ruled by old Vivian here, who's sometimes known as Nimue, aka the Lady of the Lake, which is one part of the Arthurian legends they just completely skip over here. And funny enough, in the original version where she is called Vivian, she was depicted as evil. Which is true here too, really. We are then introduced to Arthur's first power, the ability to change how much hair he has in between shots. Good stuff, Golden Films.
I name you this night Arthur. You shall live between the two worlds.
Hope that doesn't screw you up, you little freak.
You are of England, but you are also now of Avalon.
The world where we are all unique individuals. Isn't that right, model copies?
We cannot keep him here. All of you know that.
And why not?
Sister, I tell you, it is not fit.
It's not done.
Not fit. Oh, Merlin, speak to them.
You know they won't listen to me. After all, I'm a man.
Oh, it was truly hard to be a disgusting old wizard back then.
Avalon is not of the world.
You're not of the world? Well, can you take your stupid little island and fly it off the planet then? Vivian ends the discussion by making a magic circle, which goes off center in the next shot, and saying that Arthur will be their little Avalon bitch boy. And somehow, that is immediate satisfaction for all. Nod, nod. Also, one of the pink dress copies gets hit by the magic circle and is shrunken, but no one seems to care.
And when he is of age, my sister Morgause will teach him the lessons of love.
Looks like everything's coming up Morgause. So, this is like an arranged marriage type of thing? How old is Morgause at this point? And did Vivian get any of Morgause's consent on this? Or is she just being voluntold? Avalon doesn't seem to be very different than the Fighting Fools. In fact, their castle's in an even more inconvenient spot.
So we're not so different after all.
It's so beautiful, Aunt Vivian. What does it do?
Ah, there's a human for you. So beautiful, but it has to do something too.
Ah, that's a real commentary on this movie. He doesn't have to do anything. Shut up!
Inside is a wise spirit that can tell you your future.
Oh, so it does do something, and you're just being bitchy to the rapidly aging kid for no reason.
Beware.
No, I don't want to know.
Neither did the rest of us, but sometimes the King Arthur legend sucks and then you die. And then, remember how Merlin turned Arthur into a bunch of animals in The Sword and the Stone? That is from the original book titled The Sword and the Stone too, but I'm sure Golden Films threw it in because it was one of the main parts of the Disney adaptation.
Careful, child.
Boy, we sure do take the magic out of magic, don't we?
Merlin, I don't want to be a mouse anymore.
But what about them? You were out foraging for their breakfast.
So Merlin makes Arthur have to be a mouse again so that he can not bring them breakfast, and then he turns them into a bird seconds after.
Dreadful.
You're welcome. Oh wow, Arthur even gets to become the official royal pet. Merlin, of course, almost gets Arthur killed with his stupidity, but at least he pulled the boy from the dumb. And now Merlin will be the new king of boredom.
Oh yes, Merlin.
Be a tree.
Wait, how damn long did Merlin leave Arthur as a tree? Stupid bumbling oaf wizard. Oh shit, there's some other poor unfortunate souls that Merlin forgot to change back.
Any lines on the land?
No, Merlin.
Remember that there is only one land, and that the boundaries are only in man's mind.
What a great lesson. Anyway, Arthur, you go off to England and make Camelot and form its boundaries.
Remember that, Arthur.
Or I'll kill you.
Yeah, there's no limits, Arthur, so just take everything over, you stupid special boy pile of crap. Creepy. Now Arthur is a stupid man and dancing with that blonde lady who hated him as a baby and was right to want to toss him into the ocean.
Morgause, see what you can do with him.
And suddenly, there's the romance between him and Morgause started. But who cares about that? Cause now Merlin is an owl and has to show stupid Wiener Boy the fighting in England.
What are they doing?
I will show you.
No, please, Merlin, make it stop.
I cannot. This is your destiny.
Arthur made all wars stop and never caused any fighting.
No, I don't want a destiny, Merlin. I only want to stay here on Avalon and marry Morgause.
This is why Arthur's the chosen one, because everyone has to force him into his destiny and he has no drive on his own.
And have a life like everyone else.
I would give you that gladly if I could.
Okay, then you go fight the battles, Merlin.
No, I cannot.
The union of Arthur and Morgause was a magical day.
Morgause has not had one single line yet in the movie, by the way. And yeah, I suppose we gotta get into the messed up backstory of Morghouse. She is not typically of Avalon. She is usually Arthur's half-sister. And yes, sometimes they get together and have a son, Mordred. So sometimes Mordred is not only just Arthur's nephew, but sometimes he's both his nephew and his son. Golden Films didn't need to have the messed up Morghouse relationship, and even though they don't say she's Arthur's sister here, this still gets very screwy.
It united Arthur's real world of England with Avalon in the hopes that one day the two worlds might be one.
Yes, this one marriage truly ended Avalon's xenophobia, which is why they'll still do absolutely nothing to reach out to the rest of the world.
Arthur, look!
Wow, a white deer! Does that have any relevance to anything? Nope!
And Arthur learned how to love well, perhaps too well.
Yeah, that Arthur was a real fucker. Suddenly, Morghouse just disappears and Merlin pops out of a tree so he can show him a bunch of stoned people. And then Arthur does his best speed run of the whole sword and the stone thing.
I just pull it out of the stone?
If you can.
Wow, that sure was a real build-up to that, wasn't it? Hey, there's a sword in the stone! Be the king of England, loser boy! Okay!
The name of your sword is Excalibur. The day you draw it for an unjust purpose, it will turn to dust.
Now, you'd think they're setting that up because it is in fact gonna happen later, but no.
It is your charge to build a mighty refuge for those who are not mighty. This place shall be called Camelot.
It's all a part of my evil scheme.
Merlin, Vivian, couldn't you two come with me?
As though we'd nothing else to do but look out for you.
Sure, I could spend ages dicking around and turning you into random shit, but now I'm busy.
Farewell, Arthur.
Wait, where's Morghouse?
She cannot make the crossing.
Oh yeah, by the way, your wife isn't allowed to come with you. Enjoy that, loser. Bye!
She cannot exist in the real world.
So Avalon is for fake, is it? Remember how that marriage was supposedly gonna help bring the two worlds together? Just kidding! Your sister wife lives in a fake world and we'll never coexist with the rest of you trash! Also, we see both Merlin and Vivian in the so-called real world, so it seems like they're just lying for funsies.
Vivian, please tell Morghouse I love her.
They seriously don't even let them say goodbye. Wow, what a bunch of magical dicks. But to be fair, Arthur did have to return to England right that second because, Merlin and Vivian said.
Morghouse.
What the hell did that horse see off screen? Oh, and then in the next shot, what the hell happened to the horse's eye? Anyway, Arthur rode around randomly until he grew a beard, I guess, and now he can pick up a spare wife. The dragon ran into my legs off screen.
I've just always been allergic to dragons.
And of course, this seemingly inane little detail is going to prove to be of great importance when Arthur's sneezing alerts them of a dragon attack later on. Just kidding. This is never brought up again.
Thank you for saving me.
I'll give out my little name pendants to everyone who saves me. I buy them in bulk, I do.
I ran away from home because they had arranged for me to marry a very wealthy landlord, twice my age.
Gosh.
It's horrible. You should marry a man who's already married.
Where are you going now, fair Guinevere?
I have nowhere to go.
Then come with me to Camelot.
Truly wonderful storytelling.
Where I come from, there are a lot of strong people, but they don't hurt anybody, not ever.
No, they never hurt anyone in Avalon. They just sent you off to go do it for them.
My name's Arthur. Could I talk to you about a place called Camelot?
Oh, great. It's another door-to-door Arthur trying to sell us on Camelot again. Pretend we're not home. In Camelot, we'll have giant fireplaces 10 times this size. Whoa, that sounds stupid. I'm in. Then, random boy trips. Some big guy shoves him for some reason. Then the blonde guy shoves him. He blanks out, and then when he comes to, he realizes he's killed again. And that's another Blight of the Round Table signed, or something.
Friend of the poor and the weak. What you mean, instead of robbing them? Well, it would be a change, I'll say that.
This guy is horrible. Definite Camelot material.
You see a fat caravan miles off and come down on it like a hawk, like a bolt of lightning.
Oh, we wouldn't be attacking caravans. We'd be protecting them.
It doesn't matter if you think you'd be protecting them!
Rot says, no, you're damn wrong.
Alright, stop building the castle on shore so we can be attacked easily by the sea!
The castle ought to be round! I'll never believe it!
Yeah, it's not the Knights of the Round Table, it's the Knights of the Round Castle!
The greatest knights in all of Europe did hear about Camelot, and many of them came to join Arthur.
Some doofus built a round castle? Man, how can you not want in on that?
Lancelot du Lac.
I would never bang your wife! Ha ha! Oh, that's great, Lancelot, because I have 2 of them! Look at our big open windows in the throne room! All the better to protect us!
Those are the armies of 5 kings who have all sworn to destroy Camelot.
That's right! We are barely a thing and we've already made a ton of enemies! You'd be stupid not to join us! Wow, you guys sure like smiling at each other!
Arthur built a round table from where Camelot could be ruled, where all the knights were equal.
Just as long as Arthur was more equal than the rest.
You are now knights of this round table. All will know you by your golden swords of justice.
Everyone knows gold is the strongest metal in the universe!
We gathered here who speak for the people of this land choose to make you our king.
Who the hell is this little man boy who just strolled in to make Arthur king? And wasn't he already king? Certainly seemed like he was. That Guinevere sure likes ignoring me when Lancelot's in the room. Hey, can we please do the Lady of the Lake thing? No! It's the Merlin ghost of the lake!
Merlin!
I have come to tell you one thing. King Arthur needs a queen.
Doesn't he already have one? Or 2 even? What about Morghouse? Morghouse doesn't count for shit. She's for fake.
Why this man and this woman should not be joined in holy matrimony.
Somehow Guinevere wasn't already his queen, even though it certainly seemed like they were together already. But hey, this is great. Arthur can have a real wife and a fake wife. Guess everything's actually not coming up, Morghouse. It doesn't count as cheating when your other wife is in Avalon. Now, Guinevere, I know we're gonna last forever, but please stop making fuck eyes at Lancelot. Wow, look at that amazing Camelot. It's so much better than the place that Merlin took Arthur from as a baby. Well, it may look the same, but at least there's no fighting. Except for all the fighting they do.
Together we have fought.
That's right! You have no choice but to sign the treaty! Peace through tyranny! I'm great!
Arthur, I'm concerned about the serious weather coming in.
Later, Gwen, later.
I'm practically throwing you at Lancelot!
Now, about that giant eating children.
Wait, we're just gonna, oh, by the way, a giant eating children? I guess that'd be too exciting. Don't put that in the movie.
This is not right.
Talk to me, Lancelot. I have no one to talk to.
And then they talked all night long. Golden Films is so weenie with how they depict this affair, they don't even show these two kiss.
It's peace, Lancelot. For warriors, peace is boring. I'm going to have to find a substitute for war.
Wow, it's almost like Arthur didn't really want peace.
Gwen, what harm would it do if I talk to him? I mean, he's known for 20 years how much I love you.
Yeah, time flies when you're being boring.
He's got Camelot and his eternal love for Morgause.
Yeah, he is already cheating on his first wife, so screw him.
Merlin! Vivian! I've put the fires out! May I come home now?
No!
It's been a bit of a day, hasn't it? Here! I see yous!
So the noble Sir Lancelot, of course, gets ready to kill this guy. And no, I'm not joking.
I'm so sorry.
Stop where you are, Sir Lancelot! Go back to your bed now and remember nothing of this when you wake.
I never wished to kill him.
I did not do this for you. I did this for Arthur.
And how does helping Lancelot and Guinevere hide their affair aid Arthur exactly? And then suddenly, surprise son shows up.
My mother sends her love.
I never knew.
Uncle Merlin told us over and over that you had a destiny.
The Avalonites sure love screwing around with people while claiming that they're better than everyone. I love that Vivian could come by to stop Lancelot from dispatching doofuses who stumble upon his affair, but no one from Avalon could be bothered to stop by to say, "Hey, Arthur, your wife number one had a baby."
That I wasn't to look for you until I was grown.
I'm kind of ridiculously understanding about all this BS.
I always imagined having a chair with my name on it.
Yes, yes, it shall be yours.
Father, I never meant that.
What, do you give these things out to anyone you meet?
Does it not seem to you that Sir Lancelot and the Queen are too often together?
Get out before I forget who you are.
No one points out the obvious to me! Not even my surprise son, who I've never been there for!
Merlin! 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 Merlin!
Oh, yes. Merlin.
Handsome couple. I love them, Merlin. I know I shouldn't, but I do.
Arthur sure loves being a cuck, I guess. You know, the actual use for that word, it did have a meaning once. This is, of course, super true of the original stories where Arthur was very cool with the affair and was only going to have Guinevere slightly punished.
And have you burned at the stake?
Watching her burned at the stake, being absolutely okay with it. Yep, those are about the same. Why can't Mordred understand that his dad's a big wiener? You'd think Mordred would have a bigger issue with his dad having a second wife in the first place.
Father, if any should feel shame, it is those two. They have dishonored your name. Draw it unjustly and it will turn to dust.
So that's the only way that sort of comes into play. Arthur has to be reminded Excalibur will turn to dust if he tries to kill his son because he wants to stop him from being cuckolded. You know what? Arthur kinda sucks. Arthur very reluctantly agrees to allow his son to go break up the affair. The noble Sir Lancelot is back at it as he kills several trying to escape, and in the original stories, these were Arthur's nephews. We don't get told if they're related here, but big cuck wiener Arthur goes as far as to punch his son in the back of the head so that Lancelot and Guinevere can escape.
I should never have let you challenge him.
Lancelot didn't kill him, Father. You did.
Wow, I've truly done it. I brought peace to all the land.
I say he'll be making his way for his own castle.
Lancelot has his own castle? Well, yeah, I guess that's where he'd go then.
I will not fight with Lancelot.
This is leading to the Battle of Camelot, Arthur's final battle. where Arthur was in fact out to get Lancelot and then betrayed by Mordred, who seized the throne while Arthur was off trying to get revenge. And the ensuing battle was the end of both of them. Well, sometimes anyway. It's always sometimes. In the Golden Weenie version, Mordred tries to get his father to stop letting Lancelot get away with murder. Literally. Which has now caused a divide in the kingdom, but Arthur instead tries to sneak off to sign wiener papers with Lancelot.
Lancelot, I'm happy to see you.
What you been up to, killer?
Mordred's made it all a matter of the honor of Camelot.
I will enter a monastery.
I know.
You do? When do you hear about this? Lancelot put an article in the paper about it?
I will never see her again.
And I will never see either of you again.
I just like to watch you guys.
Mordred wants to defend your honor.
Why does he hate you so?
Why is it so hard for you to get, dude?
After tomorrow,
we'll speak again, right here, you and I.
If we don't, if something happens,
why then we'll talk somewhere else.
I don't think he meant if something happens to the tent, you moron!
I should have warned you about rescuing people from dragons.
Anyone you rescue from a dragon will cheat on you. It's a well-known fact.
I don't blame Guinevere and Lancelot for anything.
Because I'm a fucking moron.
But Camelot is gone, Merlin. Because of you. Now there is a Camelot to remember.
Of course, someone who wasn't a giant wiener probably could have kept it around a little longer.
It will fall again each time, and return again.
Well, it sure sounds like Camelot was not meant to be then, Merlin.
Only Avalon is forever.
You know, that paradise that you love, and we made you leave and forced you to lose your first wife and your relationship with your son. The place I can go whenever I want, and you can't. That place is forever.
For my part, I will sign this treaty with a glad heart.
What in the fuck?
So Arthur's final battle takes place here because Mordred points out that Lancelot can't exactly be trusted when he is banging his father's second wife for 20 years and then killed a bunch of people. And upon hearing the truth, Lancelot attacks. But instead of it being Mordred, or even Lancelot, who deals the final blow to Arthur, it's a random generic knight. You really do the story a great service, Golden Films.
Mordred, peace, my son. Carry the peace of Camelot forward.
Yeah, I'm sure that worked.
Time to come home, Arthur.
Merlin and Vivian haul Arthur's corpse back to Avalon, and Morkhouse finally gets to see her husband again. But it's okay, cause they bring Arthur back as a zombie or something. A real happy ending for the loser of England.
That's why he waits still on Avalon, to return when his time comes again.
You never know when we'll need King I love watching my best friend and wife bang, and I'll threaten my son with Excalibur if he so much as brings it up. A very confusing version of the Arthurian legends told by Golden Films here. They cram too much in, and blowing past things like the sword and the stone is sure an interesting way to handle one of the most famous parts of the legend. Merlin and all of Avalon are very sinister the way they jerk Arthur around, and then they just blow through the whole Knights of the Round Table thing and Camelot being formed so they can focus on Arthur absolutely loving his wife number 2 cheating on him. So, yeah, Golden Films, you truly have done it again. No one will ever forget the Arthurian tale of trash.
there's been some changes in Avalon, Arthur. Morghouse and I are banging. Oh, I love that, old man. I love it so much. You're really creeping me out, dude.